Play me my theme music.
What's up, Buff Nation, and welcome into Buffs News Weekly Live. I'm your host, Russ Dornish, and welcome to this Monday afternoon or evening stream, depending on where you're at. We are going to be covering something that was talked about yesterday that a lot of people in the chat wanted to see, and that is several people commented and said, I want to know, what does the portal look like? Who's Colorado going to be targeting? What could that, possibly be like? And well, we got a lot of answers today because players have been entering the portal left and right. However, I've got a list curated by somebody specific. I will talk about them here in a moment. Who brought up a list of wish list players who they want to see enter the portal? Okay. So guys who have backgrounds or connections that would make sense for them to enter the portal. I'll explain why when we get to each one. Okay. And then also why Colorado would possibly be interested in that person. And we're also going to take a look at who has entered the portal so far. And we are going to talk about that as well, including this one, Kevin Concepcion. Make the call. There are a lot of good receivers already in the portal, guys. And we're not even started yet. I mean, we have not even started yet, and the portal is jumping when it comes to those type of players. So we're going to have quite a good show today. Hope you guys enjoy. Again, hit the like, be subscribed if you're enjoying this stuff, and then we'll get to it. Brent's, Kyron Drones, and Gordon, I think you'll like what we have to talk about here in just a moment. So buckle up and be prepared. As always, we will try and get through everything on, your chat. I love communicating with you guys, interacting with you guys. But of course, if you want to make sure that your comment is not missed, you can send over a super chat to throw a cup of coffee our way, and I will make sure to get your comments out. CU's good on Kyron Jones. We'll talk about that a little bit. Heart of Sports, don't worry. We'll talk about them in one moment. You're going to be happy. Offense is not the concern. Trenches. Don't worry. There will be. Otis is the top player in the portal as of right now. Just FYI, guys, per the rankings. So will he be a potential target for the Buffs? I don't know on that one. We will see. But hey, And what is up? North side. We are going to be talking portal today, guys. This is what you have all been waiting for. This is the season for portal madness, okay? And the Buffs are about to be the center of attention when it comes to that portal. So, guys, let's discuss it. I'm going to pull it up here. We're going to talk about it. Here we go. Top 10 portal wish list from our friend and the legend, the GOAT on Twitter, Gucci, who came up with this list. Now, Gucci is very plugged in, so he would not be making this list unless he had reason to believe in some of these players potentially hitting the portal. So I'm going to believe him. The big thing I want to say with this is we're going to go through each one. We're going to talk about how good they are on this list, what they could bring to Colorado, and why I think they could be hitting the portal. Again, they have not hit the portal just yet, or they have. If they haven't, it's been the last hour or two. But if they hit the portal, these are guys that not only are going to be somebody to look out for, but guys that Colorado may be interested in and would be really important to this team. Okay, so this is the big one here. Number one, Ollie Gordon, and I'm going to answer your question here. Why would Ollie Gordon come back to college? You guys have to realize something right now, okay? I've been trying to explain it to a bunch of people on Twitter. It's a little bit hard with so many characters and a back and forth. With NIL, there is a lot less reasons to leave college early to go to the NFL unless you are a guaranteed top pick. Okay, guys? Ollie Gordon last year, before he became draft eligible this year, had he been able to gone out, he probably would have been a pretty high draft pick. After this year, he had a very down year, did not do very well. Everything that you see online when it comes to his scouting and what his potential draft stock could be for the upcoming year has significantly dropped. Now, if you guys go back to last year, okay, Cam Ward, he wanted to go out to the NFL. When he entered his name in the NFL draft, he got a grade that was like 4th, 5th round from NFL scouts. And so rather than go to the NFL and be a 4th or 5th round pick with a lot of non-guaranteed money, again, guys, I heard somebody on Twitter tell me, well, yeah, you know, they're not going to cut him if he's a 4th or 5th round pick. No, but if they get hurt, most of their contract is not guaranteed at that point. There's a lot smaller of a guaranteed on a later round draft pick than a top pick, okay? Your first or second round guys have a lot more money coming their way than the bottom half of the draft. So when it comes to NIL, these guys can cash in on a bigger deal to stay for another year, to stay in college. And by doing so, they create an opportunity to increase their draft stock, okay? So the big thing with Ollie Gordon is he had a bad year, okay? Was that because he was a bad player? No, it was because he was playing for a very, very bad team. Now, I've had people ask me as well, why did Ollie Gordon have a bad year? I can tell you guys, it's easy. It's simple math, okay? Oklahoma State had the worst defense in college football statistically. I'm not even kidding. Go look at the stats. Go look at the rankings. They are in the 130s when it comes to defense. Now, you know that a running game is good when games are close. They're good when you're winning. They're good when, you know, you're just trying to take a lead. They're not good when you're playing from behind, okay? So it's hard to run the ball well when you're playing from behind. On top of that, add in the fact that Oklahoma State's quarterback and passing game was non-existent, meaning the teams could solely focus on Ollie Gordon and nothing else. And then Oklahoma State's playing from behind. Look at last Friday against Colorado, guys, okay? The moment we went up 14-0, I called it. We won that game. We were going to win in a blowout. I said it last week before the game. I said, if Colorado can get a 2-score lead, the game's over. Because Oklahoma State then becomes one-dimensional, and their passing game is terrible, which we saw in person there, okay? So because of that, that is why it would make sense, rather than go out for the draft, rather than get drafted way late, because unfortunately, two things. Running backs do not get drafted near the top unless you're the best of the best. And even then, Ashton Genty is probably going to be a first-round pick, maybe, but probably at the back half of the first round. He's not a top 10, top 20 pick, because running backs already aren't. So when you talk about that, you have to be generational running back to even go in those first couple rounds, have that great season. You could easily drop, and there are other running backs with better production that will get picked above. So what could Ollie Gordon do? He could hit the portal, hit a team that is good, has a good spotlight, can get back in the conversation maybe for the Heisman Trophy if he plays well enough, and then go out for the NFL draft after his senior year with extra higher draft grades that are going to bring in more money. On top of that, he's not missing out on any money coming back. You guys got to realize before NIL, if a player went back to college and got hurt, that's it. No money, nothing. They're screwed. And that's why players were leaving early so much. They do not need to do that anymore. They do not need to force things and go early. Look at Shador this year, okay? He easily could have been one of the top quarterbacks taken in last year's draft. He comes back, help out his dad, yes, but he made plenty of money. He didn't hurt his draft stock, and now he's going to be the top quarterback picked in this year's draft, okay? So there's not really a point to come back unless it's really worth your while. And so you look at a guy like Travis. He's going to be one of the top 5 picks. Of course he's leaving college early and going. But it also gives him a little bit of a chip to play. As Coach Prime said, if he really doesn't like where he's going, why don't players just come back? They can do that. Players have a lot more power now when it comes to the draft process because of the fact that we have NIL, because of the fact that they can make really good money in college if they're a top athlete. And a guy like Ollie Gordon can go cash in on his abilities, Go play for a better team next year that's going to be in the conversation as one of the top teams. And that's where Colorado comes in. So to answer your question, that is why I think that Ollie could come back to college. Now, besides that, we also did see something happen at the end of the game on Friday, and that was a conversation between Ollie Gordon and Shedeur Sanders, as well as the fact that DJ McKinney and Ollie Gordon are best friends. I truly do feel like that Ollie Gordon is going to hit the portal, come back to college for one more year to dominate, and I have a feeling that he is very high on Colorado's list, and he has Colorado very high. I know people are going to say, we don't run the ball. Next year's offense is going to be different. You guys have to realize that. Keith, coming in with the $5 super chat. Demon Clowney from Charlotte, edge rusher, offensive tackle from Auburn, are in the portal. Yes, they are. We are starting to get guys in the portal. This is just the beginning, okay? There is a lot of good stuff. And guess what, guys? We are going to be in the top teams for getting some of these portal guys, okay? We really, really are. So any of these guys that you talk about, it's going to happen. Watch it, okay? I think the DUI has kind of gotten behind Ollie. Nobody talks about it anymore at this point, but absolutely, you come into Colorado, you dominate on the scale that Coach Prime is going to give you. I guarantee that Ollie Gordon will be probably the top back taken in next year's draft if he comes in and be successful. I truly do think he can do that. Okay, what else we got? Call it. Would Ollie Gordon want to play for a passing team? Again, we're not going to be just passing next year. Trust me. I think Ollie Gordon was talking to Shedeur after the game that he wanted to come to Colorado. Yep, Johnny Swag got it. There has been a lot of conversation that I saw during that game. A lot of things that I saw at that game being there in person that you don't see on TV. Okay. Ollie was not happy. Okay. He is not happy at Oklahoma State. And you can tell. On top of that, the conversations that we saw on some of the well off and how he discussed things with the guy. There's smoke there, guys. There is smoke there. I'm not kidding. There are rumors that Zachariah Branch from USC is entering the portal. He's going to enter the portal. I'll just say that. But he's not coming to Colorado. How much eligibility? He has a year. He's a junior. He'll have a year left, so he can come back, be that senior player, and dominate for 1 year on another team. I think that's what he's going to be. Kyron Jones, best quarterback for us because he's already trained by some of the quarterback coaches. He's close to Coach Prime. We'll see. I don't know if he'll want to come here. I really don't, guys. I don't know what coach's plans are with Julian Lewis. I don't know what he told Julian Lewis. Obviously, Julian Lewis is going to have to compete for that spot. But if I'm a portal quarterback who has 1 year of eligibility left and I need to get to the NFL, am I going to go to a place where I have to battle it out, or am I going to go to a place that I can probably secure that starting spot immediately because of my track record and my history and resume, okay? Cam Ward didn't go to Miami to sit. Okay, DJU, even though he sucked, didn't go to Florida State to sit, and they weren't going to sit him even when he did suck for a while. Okay, so that's what it's looking like. Okay, Malachi Coleman out of Nebraska is someone we should go for. Agreed, I would hope that. Yep. Branch going to Oregon. TK, I think that's what's happening. I think Oregon's got a couple of these. I truly do. I truly do. I hope Juju didn't break his hand. I agree. I want him to practice with Shedeur. So we'll see what happens. Yep, I see Branch at Oregon. Micah Hudson going to A&M or Texas. I could see us being in on Hudson. I don't know anything on that one. I'm pretty sure Branch is Oregon bound. So let's go through each of these. Obviously, if you guys are on Twitter, or if you're not on Twitter, go sign up for a Twitter account just so you can follow this account. Okay, Gucci on Twitter is going to give you guys all of the inside scoops. He's going to give you all of the information when it comes to the portal. He is the portal king. He has connections talking to players. He has some connections with the team. So things that he posts are going to be things that you're going to want to see if you want to keep up on what's going on. Otherwise, you can follow here, and I'll cover some of that stuff as well, because he does reach out to me from time to time, give information. Including I asked him, "Hey, can I make a video out of your portal wish list? Do you have anything to say?" And he gave me some tidbits, but also said, "Yeah, for sure. Use it for content." So we're going to go through this real quick. He has a nice thread on each of these players explaining why they should come to Colorado, what they look like, what do they bring. First up, Ollie Gordon. 6'2", 225 pounds junior, so 1 year of eligibility. This year, he had 190 attempts for 888 yards and 13 touchdowns. That is a good year for a Colorado running back. That is a bad year for Ollie Gordon, okay? So that is why I would absolutely love Ollie Gordon to come to Colorado. And I think that, trust me, guys, trust me, the offense is going to be different next year. I keep saying this. We're not going to have Shador. We're not going to have Travis. It is going to be a more balanced team because now we are dealing with what we need to, which is a more pro-style based offense because we don't have Shador, we don't have Travis. We're not trying to really push those guys into stardom while winning games. We're going to try and win games probably a little bit scrappier. We're going to look for a much more balanced attack. And I think also if you have a running back like Ollie Gordon, you're going to run him. Okay. This is not Dallin Hayden. This is not Isaiah Augustov. No offense to him. I absolutely loved him this year and thought he was great. Wish we had ran him more. Okay. Michael Welsh, still going to be on the team, still going to be excellent back, but he is not on Ollie Gordon's level yet. Okay, guys, this is not just like some random transfer. If Ollie Gordon comes to Colorado, this is on the same level of Quinshawn Judkins going to Ohio State this past year. Okay, guys. So if that happens, trust me, if somehow Ollie Gordon comes to Colorado, there is a reason, okay? That is another confirmation that the offense is going to be extremely different. Look at this. Even on a terrible Oklahoma State team, look at his grades. Looks really good. He's a very good player. He would fit in Colorado. He's got friends. He's got connections. Everything just screams that he would be that perfect fit. Keep an eye out for him entering the portal here by the time Monday rolls around when the portal officially opens, if not hearing him before. Okay, so that would be an absolute unbelievable get. And that is the type of get that's going to help Julian Lewis transition to college easier. Okay, you look at Nebraska and you look at Dylan Raiola, and if he had a running back on the level of Ollie Gordon, I think that would have helped his transition and his ability to play the game. We're going to have that, guys. And so I do believe that Ollie Gordon is one of our top targets. Now, the number 2 person on that list, of course, another one that I really like. I've watched the tape on this guy. He is an absolute ball hawk. He is going to be a great, great fit on the back end to replace Preston Hodge, to replace Travis Hunter in the defensive back. And that's Avion Terrell from Clemson. A little bit about him, 5'11", 180, 43 total tackles, 43 total tackles, 9 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles, and 1 sack. It's probably the longest long shot on Gucci's list, but he's one of his favorite DBs in college football. Reminds him of Nate Wiggins when he played at Clemson as well. So another potential target if he is wanting to come out to Colorado and play for Coach Prime. This is what I don't get, guys. I don't get why the top cornerbacks aren't wanting to come to play at Colorado and play with Coach Prime. That is like the absolute, should be the number one thing. It should be like, you know, how Lincoln Riley has been attracting quarterbacks because of his resume. Coach Prime should be attracting cornerbacks left and right. But I think some of that is just money. I think some of those cornerbacks, the top ones, just want to get paid rather than the development and get paid. But, you know, we'll take the higher bag to get that. So I think that's why we don't see that as much. But Avion Terrell, look at these grades. Look at those grades. 81.8 defensive grades, 78 coverage. Run defense is an 89, guys. This guy would do absolute gangbusters in this Colorado defense, and he would be an absolute get. Absolute get. Ball out saying, I've been hearing from multiple people that Ollie almost came to see a last portal. It would make sense, and it would make sense why he would be pissed off and now wanting to, absolutely, because what he just dealt with this year playing for that Oklahoma State team is absolutely terrible. They wasted him. They wasted a year of eligibility for him with what they put on that field. I'm sorry. They were absolutely the worst team in the Big 12 by a mile. And you saw that, a 52-0 loss, I think 100%. I think that Cormani issue had an effect. There's no way, and we only get one this class. It could, but I mean, the big thing is, you know, the Cormani thing is Cormani. Okay, guys, you talk to anybody out there, coaches, things like that. They know what happened. It is not a case of Coach Prime not living up to his promises to the kid. It's the kid not living up to his promises. Buddy, yeah, we hit 3,000 overnight. 3,000.14 subscribers. We've gotten almost 1,000 subscribers in the last week. And that is, again, because of you guys and what you've been doing. So what else do we got here? Okay, let's go to the next one. The next one, number 3, another cornerback, Jeremiah Wilson out of Houston. This one, again, look at these grades, guys, on some of these players, okay? The grades on some of these players are absolutely tremendous. Jeremiah Wilson, 5'10", 185, 24 total tackles, 4 pass breakups, 4 interceptions, including a pick 6 on Houston, with an 87.8 coverage grade and an overall grade of 86.9. Another unbelievable cornerback that would absolutely kill at Colorado. Another Big 12 connection, another chance to come over, similar to DJ McKinney did last year, and you saw the success he had. So that could be another one if he hits the portal. Skilled outside corner, always locks down his side of the field. Don't let his measurables fool you. He plays much bigger and played well against the 6'5" McMillan from Arizona. Yep, he had a lockdown game against McMillan, guys. That is something to take and look at and pay attention to. So Jeremiah Wilson, another one on the wish list. Again, guys, we will get to the rest of the portal here in just a moment. I want to get through these top 10 because I think these are potential players that could be a direct target that have not yet hit the portal. Okay, have not yet hit the portal. You had any good info on Chauncey Gooden's teammate, the D-line? I saw the tweets today. I don't got any information or connections if that's happening. I'm telling you guys something. We're almost pretty much done with high school recruiting this year, this cycle, okay? I don't think, unless they are a 5-star, unbelievable player at this point, I don't think we are going to go after anybody else besides Boateng and besides trying to obviously sway Carroll. We might see another surprise, but it would have to be a very, very big, important player. As far as 4 stars, we've already got 2 4-star defensive linemen and a third 3-star defensive lineman, dime a dozen. And so I don't know if they're going to, they're talking on social media. I don't know if the team's actually interested in him. Not of that. That's what I'm saying. NLB is the last guy we can probably get. That's what I'm thinking. I think the only thing we're going to see on Wednesday, action-wise, that we didn't already know, will be Boateng making the flip, not necessarily the flip, but deciding on Colorado for his commitment. So, yeah, I think that's where we're at on those. Okay, so Jeremiah Wilson, another one. Let's go the next one, Max Clare. Now, this one I don't think is happening. I talked about it yesterday. I think the team may have some other tight ends in mind, but Gucci brings up Max Clare, the tight end from Purdue, because this dude is legit, okay? He would be a top tight end on most teams in the country. Just look at these stats: 6'4", 240 pounds, sophomore. Okay. So he's got some eligibility left. And this is a little different than Sam Hart was last year. Obviously we brought Sam Hart in with some eligibility. He didn't play, had some injuries, had some other things going on. This is a little different because Sam Hart did not really have any production at Ohio State. He just kind of sat the bench and was waiting his turn, decided to come over here. But here's what you got. Okay. The offensive grade, 78.8. He is a pass-catching first tight end. Run block is okay at a 54.8. I'd need to look at Smalls to see what he did. As long as it's an improvement over that, then I'd be fine with it. But I think that could be a good target. And Gucci's note here, there are a lot of tight ends I like that could enter, but Claire stands out. All-around tight end, decent pass and run blocker, much better than what his grades show. This would be a great option for Julian Lewis. And Julian Lewis does like to use the tight end that he has at Carrollton. So we do need to find the tight ends like all of you guys keep saying. So 100%, I do think that's happening. Hopefully we hit at least one of these freshman tight ends. Yeah, the 2 tight ends we're bringing in freshman-wise, I think they're going to be good. I think it's going to take a little time, guys. You got to realize that Colorado recruits, while they're not 5 and 4 stars, they're solid 3 stars that develop into those 4 and 5-star type college caliber players. Okay, so it takes a couple years, takes a year or two. That's what we might see out of those tight ends that we grabbed with freshman recruiting. So we're going to be very active in the portal. Now, we talked about it, Zachariah Branch. I think he's going to Oregon. You guys think he's going to Oregon. I agree. I think he'll end up at Oregon. Still here, number 5. It's definitely a time for change of scenery for Branch. I think now with, what they're doing and how they're moving in the direction, it would be great to have him here, but I think he'll end up at Oregon. Next one I want to look at real quick, Lee Hunter. Okay, Lee Hunter, defensive tackle from the University of Central Florida. Central Florida is having a mass exodus, guys. When Gus Malzahn just leaves out of nowhere to take an offensive coordinator or coordinator jobs, not offensive coordinator, but coordinator job at FSU, you're going to see a lot of guys hit that portal. UCF is going to be hurt this offseason because one, they underperformed, and two, they now lost their head coach. So a little bit about Lee Hunter, 6'4", 320 pounds, 44 total tackles, 1 sack, 81.1 run defense grade. This would be something that we would be looking for the Chidozie replacement. That guy who can play in the middle, plug up the holes, be a good run defender, be that kind of guy that takes on those double teams. So dominant 3-tech D-line option who does his job is much better than what his numbers show. Kind of like Chidozie was for this year. Would love for him to hit the portal. Chidozie had very similar numbers coming in. He was definitely a run stopper, run blocker type player, taking on those multiple double teams and all of that stuff, and did such a great job. So I think Lee Hunter would be a great job to come. What about Bear? Not happening, guys. That's all I'm going to say. Bear is not happening in Colorado, and just trust me on that. It's not a case of me not wanting him. It's not a case of you guys not wanting him. The team's not taking Bear, and he already kind of has a spot he'll be going to. So you'll see that here in the coming days. Okay. Let's see. We got Gennaro with Malachi, Julian, Cott. Those could all be potential. I'm not hearing anything on them yet. Again, portal hasn't really opened yet. We won't publicly know some of that stuff. I'm just hearing whispers and little things about some of these guys, but we don't have official confirmation on those just yet, and I don't have too much on them. So we'll have to see what happens here. Let's continue with the list here. Spencer Fano. This is an interesting one, okay? And the reason why we might see some Utah players hit the portal, obviously Utah had a bad season. They don't really have that recruiting class coming. Their head coach is potentially retiring. I know they have a succession plan with the assistant coach taking over, but I'm sorry, that program is all about that coach. And so for him to retire, for how bad Utah was this year, which again, that happens when you don't really have a quarterback, it's going to be hard for them to keep some of these players that are coming towards the end of their run. So this guy coming to Colorado would start instantly at right tackle. 6'5", 304, sophomore. So he's got a couple years of eligibility, would allow some of the younger guys to develop. Maybe we move some players around on the offensive line if they want to. But look at that, 91.5 offensive grade, 91.9 run block. He is the second in the country. Another guy who may be a long shot, but if he were to hit the portal, I'd take him with ease. Colorado could use a right tackle. Okay, so that is one of the ones that I could see happen. Again, Gucci lists these guys not only, he doesn't list them randomly. They're not just guys that he just thinks, oh, I would love to have them. He's hearing something that would push them to maybe hit the portal. It sounds like they may hit the portal. He may have talked to them. Colorado may have said that they're trying to get these guys. So these names are not just listed here for no reason. Okay. I trust him with these names. If he's bringing them up, then there's some smoke to these guys either hitting the portal or having Colorado interest. Okay. So if Spencer Fano hits and we got him, guys, the right tackle position and left tackle position would be unbelievable. Our offensive line would be unbelievable next year. Julian Lewis would not be seeing the ground nearly as much as Shedeur Sanders was. Okay, guys, which means that our offense is going to be much more efficient. Okay, and that's what my goal was. That's what my thoughts were with us getting Julian Lewis and seeing the way he plays. We need to be a more efficient offense, and I think we will be when the time comes. We may not be as explosive. Obviously, you got to give or take. Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, it's very explosive, very powerful offense. I think we're going to see more of a pro-style, very good clock-controlling offense that can score if they need to, but also knows how to control that clock a little bit better. So that is why getting a guy like Fano would be an absolute steal. So if he hits the portal, guys, there's something there. There's something there. Next up, we've got Josiah Trotter, linebacker. We obviously need a Nakai Hill-Green replacement. And, you know, this is also what Gucci believes. 6'2", 238 freshman. So this is a long term. This would be a Boateng combo. This would be Mantras, Walker, the three of them. If we go three linebackers, they could easily be a big part of this team going forward. Look at this, 93 total tackles. Guys, 93 in his freshman year. 93. A half sack, one interception, two pass breakups, 93 tackles as a redshirt freshman. He's very good in the run game. He's much better than his grades show. He's the son of two-time Pro Bowl, All-Pro Jeremiah Trotter. See, I didn't know that. I'm sure there's some kind of connection with Coach Prime there. That is why I think that this is a very good find by Gucci. West Virginia is going to see a lot of guys hit the portal because they're seeing some, chaos and change in their program. So I could see a guy like him hitting the portal and wanting to go to a program like Colorado. So Josiah Trotter, somebody to keep an eye on, okay? We got two guys left. Dylan Theneman, safety, Purdue. A little bit about Dylan. 6 foot, 207 pounds, 104 total tackles, 6 pass breakups, 1 sack. Great safety option if you were to enter. Was much more impressed with his 2023 film where he had 6 interceptions. Took a step back this year, but I love the green that we're seeing on his grades across the board. That's good. We need that Cam Silman-Craig replacement if we're being honest. Shiloh, we'll be able to replace him with somebody, but we need safeties. I don't think we're going to start freshmen there right away. So I think that would be a great grab. So I think that's where we're at. Good comment here from Ball Out. Cardi is not starting as a freshman. He's not Seton. I think he's not guaranteed to start like Seton was. I think Cardi could. If he comes in and works hard enough and does enough and works with Seton and works with Loadholt, could he? Yes. Okay. But I agree. I don't think this is a case of Cardi is coming here with a guaranteed starting spot like Seton did. Okay. Seton literally from day one that he walked into that practice facility was the starting left tackle. There was no competition. There was nobody else practicing at left tackle, guys. It was Seton and Seton alone. Okay. That will not be the case with Cardi. He will have to compete for that spot. If he does want it, hey, if he wins out, great. If not, I can see that's why it's happened. So I think that's what he means by that, guys. Hopefully you get that. He wouldn't be happy. I have to go back and look at your comments though. Spencer Fano would be great, but I can't imagine Cardi Smith would be too happy about it. Yeah, see, I think that'd be fine. Again, I think it would be fine. If I remember right. Yeah. So he's sophomore. He's got one more year. If he balls out again, he's going to the NFL. We could go with a 1-year stopgap at offensive tackle. So yeah, Purdue. And then the last one, this is a big one, guys. Caleb Cost. UNC is also going to see a mass exodus with their coach getting fired. So Caleb Cost would be absolutely ridiculous. Very good corner, obviously, on a decently bad team. His grades aren't that great, but I think he could come in. Colorado could absolutely turn around. 5'10", 195, 57 tackles, 4 pass breakups, 2 interceptions on a pick 6. Slot corner option who is much better than what his grades show, has great technique, could take his game to the next level under our staff. That's the type of cornerbacks that you would see, similar to a DJ McKinney. I think that would be a great get for Colorado. So I think that's one of our options there. But that is the top 10 list from Gucci. This is portal wish list, guys who have not yet hit the portal, but guys that he's hearing could hit the portal and that Colorado could have interest in, so to speak. And so this is what we're looking at here. The big one, though, of course, being Ollie Gordon. If you see him hit the portal, guys, get excited because I think that's a sign of what's about to come. So that's what's going on. Let me see what's going on in the chat real quick before we move on. What is up, Shirley? Welcome in. Do you think Carter Stoutmeyer starts at nickel or safety? I really don't know. I mean, he's played both. He played, obviously, more corner for Preston Hodge there down the stretch. I could see him switch back to corner with us losing Hodge, Hunter. So I think that could be a possibility. It's up to Carter, if I'm being honest. It's up to Carter. 100% Brooklyn. Appreciate you. He wants a chance to start. Fano kills that chance completely, and that's why he wanted to come to see you. He wanted a chance, though. Keyword is chance. That means competing. Okay. He's not going to shy away from competition. The other teams he was looking at have guys in front of him. He would have had to compete anyway. So even if Cardi has to sit or, rotate in, remember we rotate a lot. That's where I think it's going to be, different. How many O-line starters actually return? I think everybody could return except for Justin Mayers. If I'm mistaken, Justin Mayers could be. Let's see. Namir Robinson. Yep. He's the first Colorado player to hit the portal. Not surprising at all on him. Like I said, we'll talk about it if it's a big surprise that hits the portal, but I really don't see that many guys that are going to surprise me entering the portal. And if they do, obviously they'll be a surprise, but that would be a pretty massive thing that would happen if that does occur. When does the off season start? Brent, what do you mean by the off season? Because college football is a little weird. Obviously, we've got bowl season still coming, but we're about to start recruiting hard. Signing day is in 2 days. The portal opens a week from today. Okay. And all of that's going to happen before our bowl game. So they overlap. There's really no technical start to the offseason. If you mean off-season practices, we're not talking about until like March, April. But the kids will get to do bowl game practices. Yeah, I think it's April, March. But hey, no. New players can start coming right away. If they literally early enroll, they can be a part of the bowl game practices. They can even dress for the bowl game. They just can't play. So they can show up, come to the bowl game, be a part of the team, be a part of the practices, all of that. That is the benefit, guys, of having a bowl eligible team is you extend your season and you extend the ability for people to practice, get started on the following year. It is a huge benefit to the team to be able to do that. If we got Gordon, that's perfect. We got quarterback, line, wide receivers. We need a wide receiver for next year. Yeah, that could happen. So that would be good. Edge from Nebraska, Butler hit the portal. Did that just happen? Am I missing that up? That's a pretty big one. Oh, yeah, Jamari Butler. Oh, my goodness. Jamari Butler just entered the portal. That's a good one. That's a really good one. But you have to wonder if he's going to follow his coach down to Florida. Oh, I think it could be. I think it could be. So yeah, that's a big one. I'd love Colorado to go after him. That's another big one. Guys, it's just going to keep coming. It's just going to keep coming. Okay, so Butler coming. That's a big one. What else we got here? Oh gosh, we got a decommit. I can't even tell what he is from Oklahoma. Doesn't say his stars, which usually means 4 or 3-star. There's just a lot happening, guys, right now. A lot happening. Okay, so there's a lot of guys that we can talk about here. Every team loses a player or two they never thought would leave. We need to prepare ourselves. Yeah, I think so, but there's not many that I would be surprised to leave. You know, Seton would be a surprise. Yeah, that would be horrible. I would hope that Michael Welsh stays around. Any of the other running backs wouldn't surprise me if something happened. Receivers, I just want Omarion Miller to stay. I want Omarion Miller to stay. That's the big one that people are worried about. So I think, that's where I'm at. I think all offensive linemen, freshmen, end up redshirting in 2025, which is a good thing, meaning the veterans ahead of them are ready. Freshmen on the O-line isn't a good thing unless they're Jordan Seaton. You have to be really good, guys. Jordan Seaton's year this year was an anomaly. He had an even better year than Proctor did for Bama. So that is not a normal thing, guys. We can't get used to freshman linemen coming in and starting. Okay, unless they are the top linemen like Carroll. Carroll can come in and start right away. He can. Anybody else, they're gonna, struggle a bit. Hearing any other 5-star news ahead of early signing day on that front? I'm not. Carroll's not looking good, if I'm being honest. Right now, the only thing that I know for sure is Boateng is going to be, I think, a buff. Outside of that, guys, it's going to be a surprise if we get anything else. We're not hearing anything. Nobody's talking in the media. Nobody's talking elsewhere. And so what's going to happen is it's probably going to be the next couple days. Something is going to come out. If any news about Colorado and a recruit comes out in the next couple days, that is the smoke that you're looking for. That usually means there's fire right behind it with Coach Prime, as we've seen happen before. So, that's just where we're at. Yeah. Okay, so outside of that, Carter ain't going anywhere. I don't think he is. I think he's sticking around. He likes what happened. Offord is going to Auburn. I agree, or Oregon. Who knows? Didn't the wide receiver from K-State hit the portal? Number 1, Brown, his last name. I saw that happen. Micah Hudson possibility. I could see that. Carroll's going to stick with Bama. We're going to lose some running backs. Yep, we are. That's going to be okay. These schools are emptying out the inventory. Yep. I think Chauncey might make a push to start. Guys, any of them can push to start, but the key word is push. They're going to have to come in. They're going to have to develop. They're going to have to do what they need to. And if they do that, work hard. I mean, Coach Prime plays the best players, guys. That is what the proof is. It's not that you're guaranteed to start or you're guaranteed playing time. The best players will play. You come in, put your head down, do the right things, work hard, you play. If you don't, you're gone. Look at Cormani McLean, 5-star, should have been starting. Like most teams would have said, why isn't he starting? Why isn't he starting? He was the one that determined he wasn't going to start by not putting in the work that he was required of. Okay, guys, that is the proof of what Coach Prime does, and that is the proof for any of them. Yeah, Brian, appreciate you. Thank you so much for the questions. Hopefully that was at least somewhat helpful. Did Michigan take our trending on players? I'm wondering if you mean Alex Graham, or are you talking about taking some of their players? Let me know. So you need young guys with high ceiling, older guys with production. That's what you should be looking for. Running back from Nebraska hit the portal. Damn. Jeez, what is happening right now? Are these all happening right now while we're on the air? Oh, let's see. I don't have any tweets yet on it. We'll find it, but hey, guys, it's going to be crazy. It is going to be crazy. Just so you guys know, Northside with the $1.99 super sticker. I don't know why I can't show it to me on here, but appreciate you very, very much. I want Welsh and the other freshman running back. Yeah, I would love Hood and Welsh to stay. I'd love Augustov to stay, but I could see him leaving. It wouldn't be a surprise to me. It wouldn't be something I'd be like, oh my gosh, he hit the portal. I'll be like, kind of makes sense, especially if we're after another big time running back in the portal. So I think that's what I mean when I say surprises is, Micah, Hood, those would be surprises. Receivers would be like Omarion Miller, Draylon Miller. Those would be surprises to me. Offensive lineman, obviously, Seaton would be a surprise. On the defensive side of the ball, there's not many that would be a surprise at this point because we're losing a majority of our starters on the defensive side. And the guys coming back, I feel like they'd stay, but I could also see them go if we kind of fill that spot in. So it is what it is. We need the biggest D lineman we can get. We need some bears on that line. Yeah, we need some big boys. We need Chidoze. Unbelievable season, guys. Loved what Chidoze brought. He was the perfect buff for a year. He really turned around that defensive line. Like our running game and run defense was vastly improved. A big thank you to him for doing that because of his ability to plug up that middle and just plug up those lanes and allow the linebackers to then run in. It was a team effort, obviously, with Nikhai Hill-Green being an absolute demon on the field. But Chidoze, we need to replace him 100%. Seaton was an anomaly. I remember most offseason he was getting cooked in one-on-ones. He's going to have that, but his development, the guy works. And that's why he played. Oh, recruits. Michigan is trending with the Underwood flip, and they're about to spend that bag. They're eyeing our 5-star linebacker. I know they are, and they were actually in the lead for him until he came to Colorado. And I think that we have flipped that. I think that Boateng is coming to Colorado based on everything I've heard from behind the scenes. They are almost positive that he is signing with Colorado this week. And that only happened last week, guys. That it's been trending, but last week was when we finally heard, yeah, Boateng is for sure a buff. So that's what's going on there. I'm trying to see some of my updates on over here. Okay, so outside of that, let's see. With Michigan besting Ohio State, landing Underwood, I don't see us getting Boateng. I get that, but trust me. Trust me on it, okay? Boosters, different people of the team, they already know. Okay, it's not a surprise to them half the time when a recruit commits, especially on signing day. Jaheim Otis could fill Chidoze. Yeah, he could fill a lot of people's spots. He'd be pretty good. Coach Prime ain't hard to find. That's right. Yeah. Okay. So Otis not good in your eyes. I mean, that's fine. I get that too. Ed, we trust you. We need him. I know Boateng is the one guy that I want the most. He is the one guy that I want the most. And barring any last second Michigan coming in with even more money or something, like I said, everything we're hearing is that they assume he's going to be a buff on Wednesday. Okay, we're going to move back into now just the regular portal, guys. I have it pulled up. So this is, let me refresh it because all these guys that have hit, I'm sure, are in there now. So here is your top portal players. Okay, right now in the portal, Jaheim Otis is ranked as the top portal player, tied with a few different players. So Concepcion from NC State, Micah Hudson, Jonte Cook. Now, I think that we get in on one of these receivers, guys. I really do. I think we get in on one of these top receivers. We're going to be a top target landing place. They saw what LeJounte did. Will, not as much, but again, now there's no Travis, so there's a lot of balls to be had for next year. So one of these guys is going to end up in Colorado. I can almost guarantee it, especially the more that gets put into the portal. I could see that happening. So that's a potential. I really do think any of the top receivers, Eric Rivers, 4-star, 91 FIU. He's a guy that's very similar to LeJounte, coming from that power G5, level, and then jumping up to power 5 and coming to Colorado. That could be another option there. Those are really some things that we're going to want to look at. So portal's loaded already. Oh, you don't even know. You don't even know. There are players we don't even know about, guys. There are players we don't even know about, and it's only going to get better. This next week is going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So you're going to want to stick around. Make sure you're subbed, of course. Turn on the bell. Greatest story ever was somebody commenting and saying, thank you so much. I would not have known about the Juju Lewis commit unless I had your notifications on when you covered that. I'm going to try and do my best to cover announcements. I unfortunately am not going to be around during the day on Wednesday for signing day. I'll try and stream Wednesday night, potentially with David Talks Buffs. And then probably stream Friday at this point now that we're seeing some of the stuff happen. Maybe do another update on what it's looking like, talk about the early signing day and how successful it was. So what site that is? 24/7 Sports. They have the 2025 transfer portal already. So these are guys that have already submit their paperwork for the transfer portal, and they are there. Eric Rivers is a similar player to Wester. Yeah. That's 100%. How many linebackers, defensive backs? We need a lot on that side. We need a lot of defensive players, guys. We really, really do. Someone who can set the edge. Yup. Jaheim Otis hasn't had the chance to bond with higher ups as much as he's lacking the opportunity. That would make sense. Carroll and Boateng, I don't know. Carroll's not looking good, guys. Carroll's not looking good. We just can't overcome that being kind of a late entry into Carroll and his commitment to Alabama. I just don't think it's going to be something that's going to happen. Game changer up front and back end of the defense. That's what we need. Yeah, that's exactly what we need, and we're going to get it. Trust me. With such a deep receiver room, what do we need other than big bodies? We don't need much. I don't think we're going to hit the portal hard with receivers. One or two guys that are going to be expected to play and be contributors right away, with the freshmen and younger kids filling in those spots, with Omarion Miller taking up the top spot. It's going to be similar to this year, guys. It's going to be similar to this year. Trey Day coming in with the keep an eye on the running back out of West Virginia. Like I said, West Virginia is going to see a purge. A lot of teams are going to see purges the more that we find out. George Hilo has strong Bama connections. He'll get Otis to commit. Hilo is honestly the unsung hero of this year, guys. If you weren't watching my stream yesterday afternoon, go back and check it out. Talked about Hilo and his connection. Word is that he was a massive part of our success on defense, okay? Him and Livingston are like this. They work really well together. So in combination of one another, they were really responsible for that defense together. So we got to give big props to George Hilo and what he brought to the team this year, because I don't think we realize it. Ali coming up 12-0 next year. He's somebody I could see hit the portal. He posted something on social media today that kind of made me think that it's kind of him saying that he's going to hit the portal without saying it. So, receiver from Texas. Are we talking about LeJounte? Because LeJounte would be pretty darn good. 6 foot, 5'11", 5'11". So some decent sized receivers, not massive, of course. And then also here, guys, we've got some other things. Miller Moss entered the portal. Caden Salter entered the portal. 2 quarterbacks. If we needed a quarterback, I could see maybe Caden Salter as being a potential competition for Juju, but I don't know if he wants to come. Maybe Matt Sluka could come as competition. Who knows? Malachi Coleman, there he is, guys. 3-star in the portal, 6'5", 210 pounds. You can't not say you don't want that type of size on this team going into next year. That would be absolutely unbelievable. Do you think one of our red shirt linebacker are going to hit the portal? Woods, Brown? I think it could happen. Again, those ones wouldn't surprise me at all. Linebacker Stephon Thomas from Nebraska hit the portal. I want him. Nebraska's purging, guys. Matt Rule's in trouble. Matt Rule is in trouble because all we heard all offseason was how Nebraska was going to get that second-year Matt Rule pop, and they didn't. So I know they got to the bowl game barely. They almost didn't. So I don't know. Yeah, our receiver room is going to be 100% stacked no matter what happens, guys. That is going to be a great thing. What do you think of Boston College quarterback? He's another one that I've seen. I thought about him throughout the season. He kind of had a drop off in play when he did play. It was like, because he was a big time guy. Let's see where he's rated. Oh, let's see. Position. Let's go. Okay, so we got Miller Moss, Caden Salter, Sluka. There it is. Thomas Castellanos. I mean, he could be a guy. He could be. We're definitely going to probably get one of the portal quarterbacks. Probably not a top one, obviously, because you don't have the guarantee that you're going to start here. Bro couldn't see the field in Nebraska. I don't want him. Hey, I get it. Malachi needs to either play tight end or pass rusher. I think tight end's probably where he needs to end up. Trevor Woods wouldn't get back into a go for. He simply isn't good enough, especially after switching positions. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he did hit the portal. But I appreciate Trevor and everything he's done. He's been such a great kid on this team and what he's been able to do. Top running backs so far, we don't got much here. Top receivers, that's where it's kind of jumping off. Malachi, Creed, Javion Gibson, McCulley, Xavier Townsend from UCF. Oh, man, that's an interesting one. Offensive line, of course. We don't have some of the newer guys in there just yet. That's not there. Tight end, Carson Kent, Zach Atkins. Yeah, not much there. We haven't had much updates, guys. Coat, Otis, couple guys to look for, a couple guys to look at. Linebacker, of course, not much. Oh, look, we already have a commit for Kansas. That's right. Not much yet there. And then defensive back, this is where you got Julian Humphrey. Cole Wisniewski from North Dakota State entered the portal. That's an interesting one. Obviously had a bad season due to injury. Hey, we want Devin Neal so he doesn't run all over us. I know it's the cornerback Devin Neal from Louisville and not the running back Devin Neal. But hey, maybe he'll have the same effect. CJ Hurd, that was one that was kind of interesting to see. I could see that one coming from FIU. And then special teams, we got a couple kickers, guys. We got a couple kickers in the portal. Cincinnati, Carter Brown, Albert Jang, Andrew Glass, Colton Boomer, JoJo Hawkins. Listed as an athlete, but special teams? Do we not know what position he plays? That was a little weird. Yep, Bentley and Green Hill are out of eligibility. They can't even come back if they wanted to. Purdue players leaving. Like, guys, there's some teams that are absolutely purging. I'm telling you. I am telling you. It'd be great to get another high-end quarterback, but aren't they leaving because they don't want to sit exactly Sean Preston? That's why I don't think it's going to be the top of the list. It's going to be guys who want to come in, compete, maybe have a chance for that starting job because they don't have chances otherwhere, and they believe in themselves. But, yeah, we're not going to get a top quarterback commit at this point, not with Julian Lewis coming in. Yep, they're gone. What do you all make of Goldberg? We haven't seen him much. We don't know too much about him yet. So I hope that he turns into a great player. I hope that he really does that coming up, which obviously that could happen. That really could happen. Real quick. That just closed on me. Okay. Guys, what else do we got here? Let's go through some more comments. We'll be done here in a few minutes. We're still going to keep going, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry. Oh, what is going on? There we go. Okay. Oh, damn, got to replace them boys. Yeah, we got some guys leaving. Goldberg Young, he'll stay. Yeah, the high school 5-star, he's just locked in with Baylor, guys. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, I saw Hilo spoke highly of him to his dad. Just get Castellanos. That'd be great. I'd be fine with that. The fact we did as well as we did in the portal last year after 4-8 leads me to think absolute clean up. Yeah, exactly. And not to mention, guys, just FYI, Brady and everybody else in the chat, the NIL is popping. Okay. The NIL at Colorado is popping. So we're going to have the money to compete with the big boys this time around. If you guys remember last year, we were in talks for Walter Nolan. We were in talks for Harmon. We lost out to the Oregons. We lost out to Ole Miss. So this year, we're going to have the money to compete for those really top players if we want to. They're going to need to be the perfect type of player that we're looking for. So when they hit the portal, be on the lookout for those top players. They're going to be listed as potential Colorado guys. Trust me. Like Hudson already being listed as a potential Colorado guy by On3. Nothing really smoke there, but they just want to have that. Hard being a quarterback in college. It really is. It really is, especially with the portal. I think a truly elite running back would change everything. That's what I think. I 100% agree with that. Coy Beasley, similar comp to Silman Craig. He's a freshman that hit the portal from Purdue. Okay, so another new Purdue player hitting the portal. He's only a freshman. Let him grow. We'll be glad to grab some beast defensive linemen. Yeah, we're gonna get some. We're gonna get some good ones. You want exposure cut? That's the big thing, guys. You're gonna have the eyes. You're gonna have the money. You're going to have the winning capabilities because we just showed what we could do. We also showed what the Big 12 is, that we could definitely dominate the Big 12 if we improve a little bit. Hey, there, the 5-figure donation by Brady to the NIL, $105. 5 figures, guys. He didn't say where that decimal was, but 5 figures. I hope Dawson Merritt decommitted from Nebraska so we can grab him. He might, to come join London. That could be. So how does that work with NIL going in-house? Well, so guys, a quick explanation here. NIL is not fully going in-house. What is happening is that the school itself is going to be paying players, and then they're also going to have NIL on top of that. Okay? It's not going away. They can't police it. Because here's the thing. The idea with it for NIL was sponsorships, right? Who's to stop? And again, this is why NIL took so long to come into effect. Who's to stop a booster who runs a car dealership from quote unquote sponsoring a player for a couple $1 million? Who's to say that Bryce Underwood didn't receive a Barstool Sports endorsement for $5 million? Okay. See how that works? See how you can't police that really unless you completely take away NIL? And they've said they're not doing that. So it's going in-house to where they're going to have their own revenue to share. Really, that's more about revenue share with the roster. NIL is still going to be its own thing outside of that until they make some rule changes. Gabe Irvin, the Nebraska running back, hit the portal. Well, if Ollie's hitting the portal, I don't want him. But hey, if Ollie's not coming, Gabe Irvin would be great. He looked pretty good. NIL means a good practice squad too. JUCOs. Think of NIL as the bonus checks. Exactly, Larry. Everybody's going to get a base salary, and then the NIL is going to be that bonus for the better players, for those higher level players. That's exactly a good analogy there, Larry. Real smart, really good analogy from you there. So that is what we're seeing there. Nebraska losing players. Well, when you lose your top-notch defensive coordinator and D-line, by the way, Nebraska fans already being sour about it, saying, "Oh, how dare you take a lateral position?" Like, no, I'm sorry, but it's not a lateral position when you go from Lincoln, Nebraska, which by the way is just a terrible town, and you go to Florida. Okay. The difference with Boulder is gorgeous. Ask anybody who's been there. It is a gorgeous place with tons of stuff to do. Nebraska, there is not a thing to do. And corn and cows outpopulate the state from people. Okay? No comparison. So that is not a lateral move. Those fans want to say that. I got it now. Thanks, Larry. Yep, King John. Larry did it best. Decepticon. Everyone from Nebraska in the portal. The program is exactly what they wanted. See you to be karma, baby. That's right. All those Nebraska fans in my videos, in my comments, in Twitter, on Twitter, coming at me all year saying Prime's leaving and you guys are going to be out and you're not going to be able to do well. And Matt Rule is here to stay and he's going to be through and through guy. Guess what, guys? They are absolutely burning down at Nebraska right now. And we get to sit back and enjoy watching them just burn to the ground, guys. Let it burn. What top DBs we can swipe out of the portal? I mean, the Georgia one could be a guy that we look at. I already talked about a little earlier, if you were here, some of the potential guys that could hit the portal that would be really good gets based on what I believe is going to happen. The guys that I know about that I think are for sure hitting the portal. Let's see. So I think Wilson does have some interest in Colorado. I do think he's going to hit the portal, the cornerback from Houston. I think that could be a big one for us. And I think I think Caleb Cost is for sure going to hit the portal. So those are a couple DBs that we could be looking at as well, along with any other surprises that might hit the portal. So those are all potential ideas. And yeah, there's something we could do. Oh gosh, more. So Arkansas quarterback Malachi Singleton. Cole Wisniewski just put out his, goodbye to North Dakota State. Man, it is just hopping right now, guys. All on stream. If they lose Riola to the program, that wouldn't bother me. Rocky Mountain coach staff leaves and hires you think may happen. Oh, that one I don't know, guys. I really hope that not many leave. I think we're good right now. I'd like to see some consistency between years for Prime. So hopefully not many leave. Hopefully, but we'll see. We need a kicker. I'm tired of punting the ball at the 35-yard line. I agree. Yeah, Nick Saban retired because it's not his game anymore. It's a playing field. The playing field is even, and I don't think he liked that, to be honest. What freshmen coming in December? I think most of them, from what I've heard, most of the guys that are already committed have talked about being early enrollees. You never know because they have to get their grades and stuff finished and done and technically graduate. So we'll see, because you can always have some hiccup happen and you be late. But Julian Lewis was for sure. I believe Mantrez Walker said he was going to be here. I think the receivers said they were going to be here. Adrian Wilson, Quinnell Farrakhan. Not sure on Gibson. Didn't hear much from him during his announcement if he was going to be here or not. So I think the IMG guys, Larry is right again. Larry coming in clutch. IMG guys, yeah, IMG preps you to come early, guys. So all the IMG guys will be here early here in the next couple weeks. Oh, let's see. Oh, here we go. Thanks FSU for fumbling Coach Prime. Agreed. USC, Nebraska in shambles. Nebraska's a toilet. I would leave for Tallahassee too. Prepare for Colorado. Yeah, exactly. There's no reason to be in Lincoln. CU is strong. DB's coming back. I don't think they need too many. We've got a couple. You guys got to remember, we're losing Preston Hodge and Travis Hunter. But Hood, absolutely starter. McKinney, absolutely starter. We need that third and fourth corner. Okay, we need that third and fourth corner. NIL is brand deals like burger deal for Juju. The big boy programs are spending collective money from donors like Michigan with Bryce. They're cutting 7-figure checks. That's what wins. Yep. Should keep an eye on for some inside O-line from Nebraska. Those cornbread linemen, I'll take them. Those big cornbread linemen, we will take them in a heartbeat. That will be so. Freedom, appreciate you coming in. Appreciate you chiming in. We need that quarterback from Tulane. I would have said we needed him if we didn't have Juju. I think he'll be going to a bigger program where he's going to start. He's not going to leave Tulane and his starting position there to go to a school where he could potentially not start. So he's going to go to a school like Miami. I could see him go to Miami and take over for Cam Ward. Okay, that's the type of thing that's going to happen. Rayola going to Florida, UGA. UGA maybe, but not Florida. I mean, they're all in on Lagway, and their recruiting is hopping, guys. You want to see what Colorado's going to look like recruiting next year? Go look at Florida right now. Okay, go look at Florida right now, because the momentum they're getting, they didn't have a great year with Lagway. And all of a sudden, they have a ton of recruiting momentum, and that's because Lagway. They see the potential, even though he didn't have that great of a season, and Florida didn't have that good of a season, but they saw the trend of what's going to happen, and so people are jumping on board there. Leveling out the playing field, got Georgia looking real basic. Yep, they're not that dominant team anymore. One position we not talk about, center. Yeah, I think we'll go after a big-time center. Absolutely. Mantrez, Juju, Cardi, Adrian, Quinnell, and IMGs are all the early enrollees. That's what I thought. That's what I pretty much had. Still wish they was playing this week. I know. Hey, but we got Juju and Mantrez this Friday night as well. So not only am I going to be streaming to talk about what happened on early signing day, but we'll also discuss that game, guys, if you're not able to catch it. So Mantrez Walker versus Julian Lewis. We don't know the status of Julian Lewis and his injury, but right now they are expected to play each other. Russ, do you think Juju, Cardi, London Merritt, etc. will be with the team for the bowl preparation? Yeah, they're going to be. They're going to be here, Eric. Preston does not. He even walked out on senior day Friday, Larry. He doesn't have any eligibility left. He is done, which sucks because of that injury that he suffered. But I think he's shown enough, and he was showing enough that I think he could get drafted late now. But unfortunately, he does not have eligibility left. We need linemen. Yeah. Don't worry, John. We're getting linemen. They're not going to stand still. Trust me. Coach Prime's going to continue to improve positions he can. Stoutmeyer will probably develop into that third corner. He could very well do that. When it comes to real NIL, Bryce Underwood won't get the exposure like Juju. Yeah, I don't think so. Unless he comes in and balls out at Michigan day one, it's not the same. It's not. If he balls out, though, yes, he'll be up there because, hey, you ball out at Michigan or Ohio State or any of those big programs and they actually, start covering you on the national scale, then yes, you're going to get those brand deals. Who do you think the starting safeties will be next year? Yeah, I think Savion Riley's portal. I think we're going to have new safeties. I really do. I think they're going to have to be new safeties. Florida has a ton of money and it's a huge brand. It's not just Lagway. Florida's a sleeping giant. I get that, but I'm just telling you that if they did not have Lagway, it would not be the same kind of momentum that they have right now. It really would. Especially with how good Miami's playing across the state. Aaron Nolan needs to leave Ohio. They got too many 5 stars. He probably will. I could see him at the portal, but he's not coming here now, guys. Prime said a kicker is coming. Yeah, he did. In his press conference, Prime did say when he was asked about the touchbacks, he said, don't worry, we're going to fix that issue this offseason. So they're getting some kind of leg. Like your vibe about the subscribe. Larry, appreciate you. Thank you so much. I love hearing that. I'm glad that you're going to be a subscriber. We have grown so much in the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Obviously, I had some good growth in the offseason leading up and getting to hang out and do streams with David Talks Buffs. But the last 2 weeks have just absolutely exploded, and I appreciate all of you for doing that for me. Demistocles Gee. Yeah, but Prime different. He handpicked high school potential starters, and we'll get mostly starters from the portal. That's how it works. Prime already said he knows the play. Yeah, we know Northside. That's why, by the way, again, I'm going to point at something, guys. Look at this list. Okay? Remember these names. Okay? That's your hint. That's your hint. These aren't just random guys that we wish would hit the portal. Okay? Wink, wink. Tampering, wink, wink. Okay? What kind of lineman should see you get, young or grad? I'd say in between. I'm fine with a senior, but hey, if they're big enough and they're strong enough and they're good enough, I think 100%. Yeah, 100%. We will get some older guys to come and start. Is it true Brett Koleje committed? Also, will there be more in-state commits? He might have silently committed. There's been no official announcement, but I also have heard that he's a lock. Him and Deacon Schmidt are locks to come to Colorado. Colorado boys, they're Matt McChesney guys. What has really happened was Breck was not even on the radar of Colorado, and Matt was trying to get him on the radar of Colorado, and Colorado came in late, finally started picking it up, the conversations with him, especially being an IMG kid. They love that. I think Lodeholt loves what he saw from him, and literally Colorado has been all in, talking to Breck every single day, showing the love, which is all Breck wanted because he wanted to come to Colorado from the get-go. But they didn't show him the love at first because they were still in that transition period from, the other coaching staff to Coach Prime and figuring out the local area and all that stuff. So 100%, I could Breck be a silent commit right now? Yeah, he could. He absolutely could. RJ and Savion going to be the safety next year? I don't think so. I have a feeling both might even hit the portal. I don't have any info on that. I'm just guessing. I think Alex Graham, Antonio Branch could contribute. They could. Big Teasy in the house, y'all. Let's see. Over the past week, I've found your content's good quality info. Just subscribe. Thank you, 1, 2, 3. Clark, appreciate it. Thank you so much. We got more coming, guys. This is just the season stuff, these live streams. I've got pre-recorded videos that'll come out once a week, and they are your 10-minute news updates that you guys can watch real quick. I know there's YouTubers out there that post a video for every single piece of news that Colorado has come out. I don't want to do that. One, that's a lot of work to do for such little things. And two, I'd rather give you a high level, longer production that you guys can enjoy, that's entertaining, that's not just me talking over some random pictures like some other people do. So be on the lookout for those. We're going to have that coming up here in the next couple of weeks, where I'll start doing those videos and summarizing the last week of Colorado news all in one place. And then we'll also be streaming as well. Ollie is the best running back talent in the nation and Big 12. He just played on a crappy, inconsistent team. Exactly. Coach Prime is not going to be caught off guard by his players hitting the portal. They have had comment. Yeah, he knows all about him. He knew about Dylan before we did last year. He did. Jeremiah Winston would be crazy. He was arguably a higher graded corner than Trav. Okay. Hope to God we can run the ball. Don't worry, John. We will. Hope to God. Yeah, you have to emphasize it. I get it. Trust me. I'm right there with you. I will crash out if we're not. That's probably a no. Ollie Gordon, OG. Yep, Ollie Gordon. I think he's coming, guys. I think he's coming. Cash is going to be a big-time center with a season under his belt. Remember, he's a true freshman. 100%, Preston. I think Cash is the future of the center position. Do I think that he should have started this year? I loved what he brought. You look at his grades. They're okay, but they were better than what we got out of Hank Salinskas. So if we can improve on Cash with an older guy for a year and let Cash have another year of development, yes, but we at least know Cash is going to be something at this program, guys. Russ, look at Gabriel Lightfoot. Is he somebody who, let's see, did he just hit the portal? Gabriel Lightfoot. I'm going to take a look. Oh, there it is. Yep. Enter the portal. Here you guys go. Let's take a look at Gabriel Lightfoot for Northside here, and we will add it to the stage. 6'3", 300-pound interior D lineman, is a 25-plus game starter and one of the most productive defensive tackles in the Mountain West. I like it. I really do. I like it. That's what we want. John, appreciate you. Keep up the good work, man. Much love. Thank you for the cup of coffee, $5 super chat. Appreciate you. And then Big Teasy in the house. Support for the channel and the host. $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Teasy. How is a center small at 6'3", 300 pounds? Did I say he was small again? I'm more just the freshman idea, but compared to some of the guys he's having to go up against at nose tackle, though, you got to imagine he's a little small too. Who's the other lock you said? Deacon Schmidt, other Colorado offensive lineman for 2026 as well. Him and Breck are both Colorado Matt McChesney guys. Deacon Schmidt. We must remember our players that hit the portal might have been cut too. Exactly. We don't get to hear all that information, guys. Shout out to you with the content from the East Coast of Canada. Oh, Canada. Salute you, Marty. Appreciate you. Don't know what that one. Anthony Colandera hit the portal, or is this old news? No idea. I'll have to look into him. Juju needs to be under center for a better run game. I hate the delayed handoff. I agree, and I think he will. Yeah, Big Hank got the yips. We have not seen that very often, but for a center who's had the experience that he has to just all of a sudden start getting the yips at center, not a good thing. Okay, not happening. Winston Watkins not on the way. He's using our name for clout at this point, guys. He had his chance. We're moving on. We've got receivers that are pretty darn good. In fact, I love Quentin Gibson. I think he's the best receiver we've got coming in. You don't think Gordon not under the draft? No, we talked about it earlier. I do not. He didn't have a good year. He's not going to be rated that high in the draft. If he wants to, he can come back, make a lot of money at CU or another team, have a really good season, maybe be in the talks for the Heisman, and then hit the draft and be a top draft pick, move up in the draft. Might as well make that money. So I think that's what could happen. Nice. What a powerhouse. Cash can make a lot of upgrades by just hitting the weights, eating right. He has a lot of fat that can be lost, a lot of muscle he can put on. Guys, go watch Well Off yesterday. They showed Cash. He's been told he needs to put on weight. So those people who saying, oh, that's small, the team thinks he is. So either they're lying with what they list him at weight-wise, or they want him even bigger, because he even said he had a whole stack of food and he's like, I gotta add weight. I'm supposed to be adding weight. So, Gordon might declare for the lead, and there is a defense tackle from Bama, I think, hit the portal. So the portal defensive tackle, that is Otis. We talked about him. I get that Gordon could declare for the league, but again, everything I'm hearing is it sounds like he may prefer to come back another year and he would hit the portal. So again, I'm not just talking out my rear end there. We're actually hearing some things behind the scenes that some stuff is starting to come around when it comes to that. You remember after the game on Friday? Yep. Yeah, they were talking for a while. And trust me, we were having conversation on the sideline, not me directly, but fans were. I was on the Oklahoma State sideline. Everybody was telling Ollie to hit the portal and come. And he wasn't too angry about that. Just saying. I think that D-line guys like the aggressiveness of D-Lou and who wouldn't want to come play for them? So that will entice guys. Yeah. Who would not want to come play for Coach Sapp? You got to remember last year in the portal, we did not have Sapp hired yet. So we did not have Sapp. We did not have Livingston. Those were some things we had to deal with. Russ, what school should we be watching list for players hitting the portal? If Ryan Day gets fired, watch out. Oh, yeah. Any of those big schools, if they make some big changes. Utah could be making changes. West Virginia. Ohio State would be massive changes, guys. Massive changes. Outside of that, we don't know yet. We're just going to have to listen, put our ears to the ground, and see what happens. See you, Buffs. Branch would be great, but from the sounds of it, he's going to Oregon. Damn, didn't know that. He can go elsewhere. Who are you talking about, Allie? Watch for Utah players. Exactly. Utah is a big one. We can be selective this year. We need to jump on every joke. No, we won't. We're going to be going for the top cream of the crop, guys. This isn't going to be like past years. We're going to have people reaching out to content creators, coaches, everything, saying, hey, can you get me in with the coaching staff? Can you get me to Colorado? Okay. It's going to be a lot different than in the past. Unfortunately, I don't think so. I think he will be drafted. It's going to come down to his combine. If he gets in the 4.3 for speed, he'll get drafted. He will. Muscle's more heavy than fat. Well, that makes sense. Then he wants to put on weight. He's trying to put on them muscle, I would assume. Makes sense. I think he'll still be drafted, Tyler. I think he will. Cash is small. Went to the Utah game. He looks about 6'1", 290 max. They lie about that stuff. Cash has a lot of weight in his gut. He can lose that while replacing it with muscle he needs. We talked about this, Larry, in one of my past videos. From what I've heard from inside people, going forward, this is how it's going to be every year. 15 to 18 high school recruits. Okay, 20 at the max. And those have to be like top of the tier, like 5-star type players. Then the portal is going to be anywhere from 20 to 30 guys each year. That's what Coach Prime is going to continue to go on forward. It's been confirmed. That's what the plan is. He's told people around the program. He's told boosters so that they could give money. He said that is the plan going forward with kind of how the makeup of this team is going to go even next year and beyond. Okay. They're not ever going to switch to just recruiting high school or mostly recruiting high school. It's going to continue being this kind of mix as we go forward. Trust me, I can't stand them either. I hate that they get every single player, but if players want to go and just play at Oregon, then let them. I want guys who want to be here. Jimmy will get drafted from the comp. Exactly, Larry. That's what I said. He comes out and runs a super fast speed. He's getting drafted. It doesn't matter. Oh, because Jimmy can be a return specialist. Yep. 2025 CU offense is going to be better this year as long as Pat get rid of the vanilla play calls. Juju with that new line is going to be crazy. Exactly. We are going to be better. Okay, guys. I hope they throw the ball to the running back and tight end next season. I think they will. I think we're going to get better ones. Okay, guys. We've been going for an hour, 20 minutes. I appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you guys hit that like. We are 500 people watching right now. I appreciate you guys so much. I hope the subscribers are loving it so far. Hit that bell. We'll be back again to talk about some more stuff later on in the week. Of course, keep an eye on lookout on early signing day. Also, guys, if you're on Twitter/X, go follow me. I tweet and follow everything. I constantly am updating that. You can get some of the breaking news that way if you want. Interact with me over there. I'd love to get to 1,000 followers on Twitter. That would be a really cool milestone. We're at about 580 or something over there. It's not as much as over here on YouTube. So would love to see that. Happy to see that grow as well. But yeah, we're gonna be good, guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So again, like on your way out. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Keep an eye out, guys, because things are about to get good. As always, Sko Buffs.